Welcome to the Most Innovative Companies podcast. Today, we're talking to YouTube's Senior Director of Product Management, Kurt Wilms, about the company's living room strategy. Now, we'll get into exactly what that means in a moment, but first, Kurt, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
So, YouTube started as a website, is still a website, is also a mobile app, but now YouTube is actually widely watched on TV sets, which is not something I've done.
Really? I watch almost exclusively on my TV.
What kind of numbers are we talking here in terms of viewership and share of kind of the streaming landscape?
Great question. We announced late last year that on TVs we're doing over 1 billion hours watched every day, which is a huge number every time I think about it.
That's like, I mean, it's good for your company. It's like so dark to actually think about.
Well, it's interesting, when YouTube started 20 years ago, everyone kind of said, oh, this is going to take over TV. And then, kind of after it launched, phones got really big, smartphones got really big, and YouTube kind of became synonymous with mobile phones. But we're kind of seeing that shift back to TV now. TVs are getting more technically capable. They're getting cheaper. More people are cutting the cord. And YouTube, with our vast array of content, creators making kind of every type of content you'd want to watch, it's really resonating with viewers, and we're seeing a ton of viewership.
How worried were you when Quibi came out?
Wow. Quibi, that's a word I haven't heard for a while. I was not worried at all. In general, we like to just kind of do our own thing, listen to our viewers, listen to our creators, and kind of just do our stuff. So, yeah.
So you lead the team responsible for the living room effort. What does that mean?
Yeah, living room is this word we kind of use internally at YouTube, but it essentially just means the version of YouTube that you would watch on a smart TV. So think the Samsungs, LGs, the Amazons, the Rokus, kind of the smart TVs, the video game consoles, set-top boxes, etc. Just the version that runs there. I lead our product team, and so we kind of design and develop the entire experience for when you first land on the homepage and you get video recommendations, to searching, to the player, kind of everything. We kind of develop the whole experience.
How is that team built, I guess, with TV in mind? Like, it's actually, YouTube TV's been a thing for like 10 years.
Yeah, that's something that this is separate and apart from YouTube TV as an app altogether, correct?
Yeah, so we have two kind of products for the TV space. One we call YouTube TV, which is sort of a cable TV replacement product. And that's a US only product. And then we have what we call internally living room, or YouTube on TV, which is sort of the
living room TV.
Yeah, exactly. And YouTube living room, what we call internally, is sort of the traditional YouTube that you know and love, available globally, creators making content, viewers watching 1 billion hours a day that I mentioned earlier. And so that's living room.
How do you think about adapting kind of mobile-first content for TV? I mean, I know a lot of content creators are kind of optimizing for being on those bigger screens now, but how do you think about that?
Yeah, one of the beautiful things about YouTube for a creator is you film once, you upload it to YouTube, and then we kind of handle the rest for you. So it doesn't matter if a viewer is going to take your piece of content and watch it on a phone, or watch it on a TV screen, or watch it in a VR headset. We kind of do the hard work to make that experience amazing. So we try as hard as we can for creators not to have to think about it, not to have to do anything special. With that being said, though, some of the stuff we've seen, as the viewership has kind of shifted to TV, some of the things we've been seeing as creators are investing, I think, a little more in what I would call higher technical quality of video. So the number of creators, the portion of uploads uploaded to YouTube in 4K is up 35% year over year. And I think that's kind of, creators are noticing that their viewership is shifting to TV. They're upping the video quality. Most of the TVs that are purchased today are 4K capable. And there's nothing like watching your favorite content, your favorite podcast, your favorite creator on the big screen in high def.
Now, something I read about that seems like insane behavior to me, Josh, maybe this is something you do, is that people often sort of put the same content on their screen as on their phone. So I guess it's so that they can kind of interact with the comments section a little better.
Oh, that I do not do.
Tell me about that phenomenon.
Yeah, there's lots of studies. We've done our own studies at YouTube. There's third-party studies that basically say 80-90% of TV viewers, like TV Brawley viewers, while they're watching TV, they're on their phone at the same time.
Yeah, that's basically what Netflix's content strategy is, right?
Yeah.
Making TV you can scroll.
One of the things that we found at YouTube is, YouTube's a little unique in the TV space that our service is interactive. You're interacting with the creators, you're interacting with the viewers. We have iconic features like the YouTube comments that you mentioned. So you're reading the comments, you're writing comments, etc. One of the things that we found is it's quite difficult to do some of these features with a remote control. So imagine typing out a comment with your remote wouldn't be that great. So we invest a lot actually in features where you can pull open your phone, open YouTube on your phone. It connects automatically with the content you're watching on TV, and you can do things like share the video to your friends, read the comments, write the comments at the same time. And like you mentioned, that does lead into a behavior that's very, very common. Everyone kind of has their phone out at the same time.
Yeah.
Does that incentivize creators to do more live streams overall to get that interaction? Is that a core part of the living room strategy? Is creators doing a weekly live instead of their normal films?
I would say in general, how we think about creators in the living room is they can kind of just do their normal creative strategy, their normal content strategy. The phone, I think, more comes into play. We kind of talk about, when we talk to viewers about how they watch in the TV, they kind of give us two themes. One is like, I want to just lean back and watch my content and chill out.
Yeah.
That's sort of like, we call that lean back. But the other thing we hear is, because YouTube is so interactive, we call it lean in. And I want to read the comments, and I want to like the video, and I want to subscribe to this creator or this channel I just discovered. And so we try to use the phone to make that super simple and build features where you can just open YouTube on your phone. If you're signed in on both devices, it knows what you're watching. And so we try to make it super seamless.
Tell me a little bit about the kind of watch with feature that's being piloted.
Yeah, watch with is an amazing new feature. So there's this phenomenon. I don't know if you've seen these videos, but if you go to YouTube and you search for watch along, there's this phenomenon. Yeah. There's this phenomenon
during NFL games and stuff.
Yeah, sports is a big one. But any kind of live event, there's this huge ecosystem of YouTube creators who basically make videos talking about the event while it's happening. And we've done studies actually where we talk to viewers, and 50% of the viewers would rather listen to a creator talking about an event than watch the event itself. So it's kind of a very interesting phenomenon.
I think this is the Manning cast.
Yeah,
exactly. That's a very famous one. So watch with is a feature that we've started piloting. It's going to be rolling out more broadly over the course of this year. And we're utilizing our partnerships with different media companies to actually make it much easier for the viewer. So you don't have to pull up a YouTube video on one screen with a creator talking about, and then on your computer on the side, pull up the actual video. So this will be sort of a picture-in-picture experience where you can see the event and also have the commentary from your favorite creator right there, all sort of seamless, super easy to use.
Now, you beta tested it during the NBA All-Star Weekend, right?
I think we did. We've done a couple beta tests. We've done football. We've done F1 racing. We might have also done basketball. We're starting to roll it out.
How do you figure out which creators make sense for this? Like, how do you work with creators to kind of make this experience?
Yeah, we announced the pilot. It's been a rush of there's so many creators, actually, it's very interesting, who do a certain content format on YouTube, but they have a side passion for, I'll give you an example. Michelle Carre, makes amazing content, sort of challenge content on YouTube. She has an incredible series called Challenge Accepted. Turns out she's like an avid road biker. And so she was like, I would love to do, Tour de France commentary. There's other creators who, believe it or not, I'm really into F1. I watch F1 all the time. I could talk about it to my fans.
It's Drive to Survive phenomenon.
Yeah, exactly. And the very interesting thing is, I think it's a win-win for both the creators and the partner, content owners, because it'll bring a lot of new viewers to this content, and maybe they're not interested in watching F1, but they're so tied to a creator that they'll tune in just to see what the creator is going to say about it. So we're very excited about Watch With. Viewers are going to love it. The creator community's itching to get involved and do commentary too.
Who are your favorites? Who do you watch alongside what content?
Oh gosh. I love watching, this is going to sound kind of funny, maybe a little nerdy. I love watching chess. And so there's so there's this guy in New York, Gotham Chess, who does a lot of commentary. I watch a lot of him. I watch a lot of soccer, football, if you're watching this outside of the United States. And I follow this team AC Milan, who has this US player, Christian Pulisic. And there's this creator, he doesn't do a lot of watch with, he does a few every once in a while, but he'll do commentary after the games. This guy Koosh, I believe he's a Canadian creator. He does amazing content. YouTube is amazing, but no matter what sport you're into, it could be the
You'll find
most,
something.
there's
Yeah.
amazing creators making absolutely incredible content.
Put me on the next NFL game. I know
Oh
I'd
my
give
There you
God,
go.
that
You
would be
can-
the
we'll-
least
we can make that-
informative.
We'll see if we can make that happen. Who's your team?
That
You don't have a team. I'm a Chargers fan.
There we go. You need.
Your husband is a Texans fan?
Yeah, he's a big Texans fan.
Yeah. Well, maybe we can
So-
see if we can work it out.
That would be really
That would be
funny.
so on brand for Fast Company. I want to stick with creators and kind of go back to a little bit of what I asked earlier in terms of like what content gets prioritized. Either you're an algorithmic recommendation. That's how YouTube videos kind of like go viral, gain popularity, how creators build their followings overall. There's been a trend that I know a number of YouTube creators that we have talked to. I'm thinking of the Try Guys, Smosh, the folks at College Humor, about the shift away from short form sketch based comedy to more long form shows overall, looking for creators to make 45-minute shows, an hour long show. I know podcasting has been a huge staple of YouTube in recent years as well. How much is that driven by this living room strategy? Because it seems like that would be a huge part of this.
Yeah, I would say in general, every type of content is watched on the TV. The stuff that does really well on traditional TV also does really well on YouTube on TV. So, we were just talking about sports. Sports does very well. I believe the watch time on TV for sports content has grown 30% year over year, for example. We have something really unique at YouTube for sport. I'll just keep talking about sports for a second. If you're into a team, you get the whole arc on YouTube. You can, before a game,
that's cool.
before the game happens, you see all the predictions, all the interviews, all the pundits saying what they're going to say. Then often we'll actually have the game on YouTube itself, or we'll have clips while the game's happening. And then when the game's over, you get all the analysis, you get the high quality highlights, you get it all. So you can do sort of the whole arc on YouTube, which is pretty incredible, which I think drives a lot of sports viewership on YouTube. You mentioned podcasts. Viewers are watching over 400 million hours of podcasts monthly on TV, which is huge. I'm sure we're doing this in video. There's this huge kind of transition in the podcast world happening,
Yep.
moving from audio to video.
We're working on it.
Yeah.
There you
Kurt,
go.
We're right there.
help us.
every single business conversation
Yeah.
I have at Fast Company. So when are we doing more podcast video? When are we doing more podcast videos? Like, we're working on it.
Viewers love it.
We're getting
when
there.
we talk to viewers
do.
about YouTube on TV too, when we ask them, why are you watching on your TV? One of the things they always say to us is because I can watch it hands-free, which I think kind of resonates with, you can put on your favorite podcast while you're doing the dishes, while you're eating dinner, or while you're folding your laundry right in your home. So that format's been great for us. Traditionally on TV, kids content does very well. It's great for us as well. Again, when we talk to viewers, why are you watching YouTube on your TV? The other big thing they say is you can watch it with friends. It's the best way to watch YouTube with friends and family. And so if you're a parent with your kids, you can pop on the TV. It's very easy to watch YouTube. One of our creators, Miss Rachel, she does kids content. She was actually had some of the highest watch time last year on TV. So family content does really well. But those are a few examples: podcast, family content, sports, kind of the traditional stuff that does well on YouTube.
But there are like kind of losers in this as well. I mean, some content gets prioritized over others. I mean, we know the numbers go down for shorter form content. Like, are you hearing creators complaining about that? Is there a subset of creators that are worried about this move towards longer form content?
Well, I would say two things. Actually, the first thing I would say, which is pretty incredible, and when I tell people this, they're like, what? Even on TV, we have our shorts product. And so when we were rolling out shorts and launching it a few years ago, it's, you think of it kind of in your brain as it's a mobile first format. It's like filmed on the phone. It's watched on the phone. And you're kind of, you might think, why would anyone ever watch that on a TV?
Yeah, that sounds terrible. To be
Exactly.
honest.
And you know,
Imagine using TikTok on your TV and scrolling. That's like deviant behavior,
That's
I
broken
think.
brain shit.
all right, well, listen.
Yeah.
Okay, so listen to this. So, we built it into the TV. We wanted an amazing experience for creators who are making that content and their viewers are turning on their TV. We wanted it to work, so we built a shorts experience on the TV. And I guess we kind of had in mind that it would be okay, and it wouldn't be broken, and people could watch
Yeah.
shorts. But then
Yeah.
when we turned it on, the usage kind of skyrocketed. And we were like, oh my gosh, what is up with this? And so we started talking to the viewers who were watching shorts on TV, and these same concepts sort of resonated with the viewers. If you want to watch short form video with friends and family on YouTube, do you crowd around a smartphone? No. You put it on your TV and you sit on your couch and you watch it together. So even those formats that you think might not perform well on TV, they actually perform quite well on TV. So shorts is a kind of the shining example of that, I would say. And then the other thing, even though viewership is shifting to TV, YouTube throughout the years, there's been different platforms that have sprouted up and viewers have shifted to them. And just in general, we don't really see cannibalization of view time. It's all sort of additive, which is great for the creators. The number of creators making the majority of their revenue on TV is up 35% year over year. And I think that's why you're seeing the creators lean in and do things like uploading in 4K. You're talking about video length. The other thing I've heard from a lot of creators is maybe half a decade ago when they were making their video and they were doing their edits on their video, they would think in their brain, oh, someone's going to watch this on a phone, so it can't be longer than 10 minutes. I need to artificially edit it down to be 10 minutes. The other thing I've heard from creators across sort of all content verticals is I don't have to worry about that anymore. I can make an amazing video. I don't have to artificially trim it. I'll put it up. Viewers love watching longer content on the TV. So in general, as the viewership has shifted to TV, it's sort of been a win-win-win for creators.
Speaking of revenue streams, a lot of people make money off selling things on YouTube. How do you think about kind of incorporating shopping into the TV strategy?
This is related to what we were talking about a little earlier with phones. And so anything you want to do on a TV that's very complex or requires a lot of clicks is harder to do. And so our main strategy for things like shopping are to basically kind of get the basics on the screen. So show the products that are available. And then when you click on one of those with your remote control, try to make it super seamless to hand it off to your phone to do sort of more of the heavy lifting, whether it's the purchase itself or whether it's browsing the merchant's website. Because smart TVs generally don't have a web browser. You can't browse right, and they certainly kind of struggle with complex checkout flows, and you don't want to be entering your shipping information there. So we try really hard to make the products and shopping available so you can see the products and then have super seamless kind of handoffs, whether that's via a QR code or whether it's just opening the YouTube app. And if you're signing in on both, easily connecting you. Whether it's shopping or other kind of complex features like that, we really try to utilize the phone as much as possible.
Everybody was is still betting so big in many cases on QR codes. Do you think that's it? Do you think that's
it's certainly, it's surprising. It certainly works well for what it does. We use them quite extensively in our app. When you're trying to do things, we say, oh, do you want to do this on your phone? Here's the QR code. I think it's it's nice because no matter what kind of device you're on, whether you're signed in or signed out, you just pull open your camera. And so I think it's kind of a base. And then I'm really excited about the stuff we're doing where you can just open YouTube and it knows what you're doing. And it says, hey, you were looking at this product. Here it is on your phone. That's the better.
That's going to bankrupt me. Never putting that on my TV.
How do you think about brand safety when it comes to these shopping features? I mean, I'm thinking of there was the recent scandal around Honey, that app that a lot of YouTubers were advertising with. So how are you working with creators and brands to ensure brand safety?
Yeah,
is that your job?
Not my job. Not my job. But I would just say broadly on the TV, YouTube is going to work the same way that it does on a phone, on the website, on TV. We have community guidelines. We have rules of the road that everyone's supposed to follow. They're no different on TV. And so, in some ways it's a little easier on the TV because like I mentioned, a lot of these features we kind of hand you off to the phone. And so different things like whether it's brand safety or other community guidelines, they work the same on the TV as well.
So every streaming service is kind of figuring out how to incorporate ads, or launching an ad tier. And I don't actually pay for YouTube Premium, and I watch every ad all the time. But I am curious. I know you're laughing at me. My husband actually was like horrified when he found out recently. He was like,
Honestly, I don't think that's as bad as not doing the Spotify Premium and just
that's
listening
crazy,
to those
because
ads.
then you don't even get to like pick your song order in a playlist.
Yeah.
Anyway, how do you think about ads on TV? How do you think about incorporating them? How is the viewership experience between that and the phone?
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
The first thing I'll say, YouTube Premium, amazing product. You got to check it out. It'll change your life.
It's also really inexpensive. I was like, I'm so goddamn cheap.
But if you're not a premium member and you do have ads on your TV, we try really hard to make it as seamless as we can. I'll give you an example of one thing we did in the past year that resonated with advertisers and viewers, and it was kind of going back to the roots of how traditional television works. One of the things we kind of realized is when you're watching longer form content, when you're watching a 20-minute video, you don't want to get hit all the time with interruptions. That's annoying.
Oh, yeah.
And so we try to do what traditional television does, which as much as possible pod the ads together. So you're interrupted less frequently. And when you are, it's a little bit longer. So you know that a break is happening. That kind of change, for example, it's a little different on the TV than how it works on mobile and web, where that change on TV actually resulted in more viewership as well as more revenue. So that's kind of like the ultimate win-win. So that's sort of one thing we're doing, is trying to make it as seamless as possible for the viewers. The second thing I would say is we're also trying as much as possible to do sort of TV first ad formats, where we maybe don't need to interrupt you all the time, but we kind of sprinkle ads in different places. And we talked about shopping. I think direct response ads, where we can put an ad somewhere, and if you're interested in it, you could scan a QR code, etc. That's another kind of big thing for us. We launched an ad format recently called pause ads. So when you pause the video, maybe you're getting up to get a coffee. When you come back, there's kind of an ad there, so you can, see it. If you're into it, you can scan the QR code. If you're not, you can get right back to your content. I think that's another example where, we're making money for the creators, but we're also trying to not disrupt the experience. So that's our general philosophy.
When you think about your living room strategy, I can understand everything you're saying in the context of the US, but YouTube is obviously a global product. And, I think about markets like India, where people are gradually just getting cell phones, for instance. Like, where is YouTube living room? I'm going to get this wrong every time.
Where is YouTube?
It rolls off your tongue after a while.
Yeah. Where is it most popular? What markets are still viewing everything on their phones? Like, how do you think about this as a global product?
Yeah, great question. We just announced, actually, Neil put out a letter, sort of his annual letter, and we just announced that in the US, TV is now the most watched surface, more than mobile phones. But it's definitely a global product. I think one of the reasons why we're getting 1 billion hours a day is we're distributed on every device in every country. But, there's some challenges, I would say, in some of the more emerging markets. There's challenges, I think, with things like data and bandwidth, which has kind of limited the growth of TV. But I expect over the next decade for those barriers to kind of slowly disintegrate, and we'll see more. But our product is global. It's available kind of, worldwide. We're seeing great usage all over the place. Our team is investing in tools to make it much easier for creators to dub their content. So like, even if you're watching a video in a language you don't understand, you can watch it in dub. So it's a global product for sure.
How has generative AI changed the product? I mean, dubbing, I feel like, is significantly faster now, or at least captioning is.
I would say for the TV space, dubbing for sure, I would say, is one of the biggest things. For YouTube, a lot of AI, a lot of our investment and thinking is around creators and tools to help creators create content, help them with sort of the brainstorming process, with the editing process, sort of more of the tedious stuff, so their creativity can shine and they can make more videos easier. For the TV, some of those creation tools aren't really part of our product. I think where you'll probably see some, stuff in the future is voice is very big on TV. So if you're searching on TV, a lot of the remote controls have voice. Yeah. And, you see all these different products that are coming out where you can have sort of conversations. So one way that I can sort of imagine AI coming to play more into the TV is having more natural conversations. Hey, I want to watch a YouTube video that's 20 minutes long. That's a podcast that's going to make me laugh or something like that. And so those are the kind of things we're thinking about.
It's always going to end up on Joe Rogan. Be like,
Do you like this 3-hour?
I'm also curious. I mean, you're not necessarily part of the content strategy because you're more on the product side. But what are the events that you get most excited about kind of bringing to the living room? Sports seems like the
sports
sort of
was the
most
big one,
natural one. But, are there others that you see bringing a lot of, making a lot of people put on TV?
Yeah, great question. Like I mentioned before, podcasts is great. As those kind of shift to video, I'm a big podcast watcher. And so
what do you watch?
Oh gosh. Some of my favorites are, I got to call out the All In podcast. I love watching that one. I actually listen to this podcast quite a bit in my car.
That's
so I'm
a
excited
lie.
for you to keep, this will be sort of the switching to video. The sports content is, I mentioned earlier, I watch a lot of sports content, clips and highlights. YouTube is just so amazing because everybody has their niche. I was talking to someone the other day, like, oh, what do you watch on your TV? After I told them I work on TV. Oh, I watch kayaking videos. There's just like, you never know what people are into. And there's just amazing content on the big screen.
I feel like your YouTube algorithm is on some level like your darkest impulses. Not like I don't watch violent things, but it's like always embarrassing shit.
Oh, usually I get on binge kicks where I get really into like one type of video and I'll watch a bunch of them for like a week. And
that's
then
your
I'll
algorithm
never...
forever.
Yeah,
that's your algorithm.
But then
forever.
I'll stop and I'll move on to something else. Like I got really into like Alaskan survivalist videos of like how to survive in the Alaskan wilderness.
Have you checked out Outdoor Boys? Amazing.
Outdoor Boys, yeah, I have seen Outdoor Boys. I did watch a lot of that.
They make those are amazing, amazing survival videos. I actually recently, there's a whole genre about urban fishing or magnet fishing. There's just
What?
Yeah. Nope, I got into that.
This?
Yeah. I also got really into modded GTA challenge videos from different creators.
That's the kind of thing my husband would watch.
Yeah, that's definitely a Lou-coded thing.
And there's
a lot of nostalgia.
There's no better place to watch these than on TV. These are all 4K, highly produced, amazing, episodic. I mean, this is why we're seeing 1 billion hours every day watch. It's really good content.
So I did want to end this by going through your top recommendations. Like, give us like 5 creators that you love and your favorite kind of watch along creators.
Oh my gosh.
Give us 16 of your favorite creators.
How do you pick your favorites? Let's see. I'll run through a bunch that I've been watching. We just talked about a few. I'll reiterate, Chess is amazing on YouTube. Gotham Chess, a creator out of New York, makes amazing educational chess videos, as well as watch-along style content for major chess tournaments. Canadian creator Koosh, he does AC Milan videos. Michelle Carre, who I spent a lot of time watching her challenge accepted videos. If you haven't seen these are incredible. She does all sorts of amazing things. I love watching Dude Perfect with my son, actually.
We had the CEO Dude Perfect on the show. Yeah,
he's great. Those are, I guess, some that kind of come top of mind to me right now.
Do you have to convince, I know there's a ton of chess influencers on Twitch. I wrote an article about chess a while ago. This was like a part of it. Do you have to convince them to switch over to YouTube? Is that part of your remit as a company?
No, I mean, whether a creator's on, there's many different video platforms. I think YouTube has its strengths. I think I might be a little biased. I think our chess content or our chess creator community is the best. And we have amazing, whether it's VODs or live streams on YouTube, it's no better place to watch chess than on YouTube.
Do you play online? Do you stream anything? Are you a creator?
I was going to ask, like, what, if you're not a streamer though, what would your content channel be?
Oh my gosh. We
asked the tough questions.
I do have a channel. It's mostly kind of like personal stuff. I haven't made it into the public sort of like big time of being a creator yet. Maybe that'll be in my future. I've never streamed chess. I do play. I've never streamed. But as an employee of YouTube, I definitely toy with all these things. I'm just being a creator. It takes a certain skill set. I don't know if
It's a lot of work.
yeah, I don't know if
Yeah, we do really a lot of work. Thank you.
The way I had to write to YouTube and go through a long process to get some comedy skits I did in high school off the platform.
No.
My God. Horrible stuff.
Oh, yes.
Me pretending to be Keith Urban was one that I was really like, we need to get this taken down now.
Oh, no.
I think I'm with you. I don't know if I have the skill set to be a creator. If I put stuff up, people would probably say, take this down. What is this?
This guy works at YouTube? Are you a commenter?
I do. I'm a reader for sure. I think everyone is.
Mm-hmm.
I will comment every once in a while. Now everyone's going to go try to find my comments.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to do after this episode.
Generally, it's often encouragement for the creators. Amazing video. I love this, etc.
That's nice. Do you comment?
No, not really.
The only time I step in is often, this is on any platform.
To correct grammar, it feels like you're...
No. I'm a big Redditor. And I find like once a pylon starts, it can get really nasty real fast. And I'll try and break it up. I'll be guys.
I'm sure that works out great. Online, famously understanding.
I think the YouTube comments, there's a lot of questions too, like, oh, what was this at this certain time frame, or what product was that?
Yeah.
I jump in a lot if I know the answer to those too.
Oh, I love that.
Helpful commenter.
It's like, you're Midwestern, right? I feel like that's...
I am, yeah. Always helping.
That's like Midwestern behavior.
Yeah, that makes sense. I don't know.
I don't know, actually. I don't really know that much.
Does it make sense? Yes. Let us know in the comments.
Let us know. Well, that's it for this segment. Kurt, thank you so much for coming on.
It was fun. Thank you for having me.
Is there any part of your job we really should have asked you about?
Yeah, we covered all the basics. How much do I get to create, etc. Yeah, that we covered a lot. Yeah. No, I mean, maybe just for closing, what I would say, if you're a creator out there and you're thinking about TV, we're going to continue to do our best to make the platform amazing, help you build a business, help you thrive, help you build a community on TV. So we're super excited.
I love that. But yeah, this
Thanks
was great.
again.
Thank
Yeah, it
you
was
so
fun.
much.
Thank you so much.